Good morning. Or is it morning? It's kind of windy out there today, wasn't it? Big difference from yesterday. If you have a program, you already know who I am. But I'm Reverend Darin. I'm pastor at Bennett Community Church in Bennett, Nebraska, United States of America. And you will, as you walked in, if you didn't trip over them, you saw all these names. And at the end of 2023, these are all the names of people that have been recorded since 1971 that have been missing in the state of Nebraska. It does not include this year. That's a lot of people. And until this end of this last year, 2023, I didn't know much about missing people or missing persons. And it's a lot. Not only is it a lot of people, but all of you have been affected by someone that you've loved that's gone missing. And it's changed your life. It's changed my life. And so we come, and I am so honored and blessed that this is now an official day in the state of Nebraska. Even though, honestly, we wish it never would be. But here we are. And we're going to care for one another. We're going to support one another. And so we're going to recognize this day and recognize all those that are missing. And also those who were missing. Because their families are still hurting and struggling. So as we begin this morning with the sun shining down upon us, will you please gather with me in prayer? God of all things and God of many things, you come to each one of us in unique ways. Because God, you are many things to many people, but we are thankful that you are present, that you are real. We ask that you come into this time today, not only for those that are here, but for those that are a part of this day from afar. That you collectively hold us together, that you bring our spirits together, and that all of the missing are truly in our hearts every minute of every day. Because God, you know where they are, even though we don't. And in all of our lives, there are many, many, many questions that we don't have the answers to. So we lean on each other, and we lean on you for guidance and for care. God, we ask that you come into this day and come into this time and truly be present. We pray this to you in Jesus, who is our Savior, through the Holy Spirit that's always with us. Amen. There is a microphone right here, so if you're able to not mess with it too much, I know that the media would appreciate that. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone, to the first annual Nebraska Missing Persons Day. My purpose in this moment is to be prepared, but I'm not. Just like many of you sitting here, we're not prepared to have a missing loved one. And by the way, that's not part of my speech. That's real. I did not write that down. I just feel so unprepared to do this and to be here. Even though 24 years have passed. But I do want to start by thanking people, because I don't want to forget to thank. There's so many to thank. I have gratitude for all of you being here supporting us. It's a very important day for Nebraska. This day was just an idea a couple of years ago. Colorado Missing Persons Day inspired families with missing Nebraskans to form a group to have their day. That group brought this day to a reality. I want to thank Nebraska Senator Danielle, Conrad, and Nebraska state legislators for passing Nebraska Missing Persons Day unanimously. And to thank Governor Pillen for making it official. I want to thank Chief Michonne Morrow for attending, Captain Ben Miller, Captain Jake Dilsaber, and Investigator Jessica Dreger. I would like to invite the family of Marilyn Alexander to come.
Our mother, Marilyn Alexander, she went missing September 20th, 2001 from Hastings, Nebraska. She's been missing for 23 years now. We don't know too much about her case. There's a lot of what ifs, and I guess there's always questioning what could have happened, and we just know that we'll always miss her, and we're just thankful for everything that has been done from everyone and all aspects of everything, and thankful for Jannel and everything that she's done and throughout the years, and Jason's mom, Kelly, too, as well, for everything that she's done over the years, and everyone who's brought awareness to missing persons. Thank you.
Representative for Chance Englebert.
Chance Leslie Englebert went missing July 6, 2019 from Gering, Nebraska. He was 25 years old, brown hair, hazel eyes, 5'9", 195 pounds. He has a scar on his hip. His hair is sun-lightened. He was last known wearing a short-sleeve button-down Wrangler shirt, Wrangler blue jeans, a belt with an NRCA buckle, Roper boots, and a black and white trucker cap. The circumstances are following an argument with his family on July 6, 2019. Chance walked away from the residence and told family and friends he was walking to Torrington, Wyoming. He was seen on video surveillance walking by. His last cell phone use was during a severe thunderstorm with torrential rain somewhere in the vicinity of Tarrytown, Nebraska, or Scottsbluff, Nebraska.
Representative for Tyler Goodrich.
I'm Lonnie Goodrich, the father and sharer of Tyler Scott Goodrich's heart and soul. Tyler went missing November 3rd, 2023, from Lincoln, Nebraska. You know, I was kind of find a little delight in his description, because when they say hair color red, they left off flecking with gray at 35. He wasn't real proud of that. 6'1", 185 pounds. He went missing November 3rd. Identifying characteristics: he has a cross and a serenity prayer tattooed to the left side of his rib cage. He also has tattoos of a large blue flower on the outside of his right calf and shin. The words, "From dust I came, and dust I will return." A black up arrow encased in a black circle. For a long time has sported a beard and grew his hair out in his last years. Tyler loved to run. Tyler loved to be with people. Tyler was a person that when he entered a room, he made friends. And we have heard so many times that after knowing Tyler for 10 minutes, you thought you'd known him for life. We've had thousands of people searching for him since he's been gone. Groups of 200 to 300 early on. We've had community support beyond belief. We have found that although so many, like all of us in here, probably had no clue about missing persons until it became a part of our life, we also had no clue as to how many people would reach out and share love and care. 36,000 followers on his Facebook page, the missing persons page for Tyler, that are just as equally invested in bringing him home as the family is. The business response is just the love from everyone. As a dad, you never expect something like this to happen, especially when they're 35. We think they're on their own and can finish life. Everyone needs to know what happens to all ages. We need to learn to educate. We need to educate everyone out there of the possibilities. Because it's important for everyone to know, to always keep a watchful eye. To invest yourself in what your children do, even at 35. To know things about them personally that maybe we figure isn't our business as parents. But when these things happen, it all comes to the forefront, and it is our business. We need to continue to educate lawmakers, our state patrol, Lincoln Police, Lancaster County Sheriff. We need to continue to educate them that the problem doesn't go away, it's only bigger. And unless we can all come together and move this thing completely forward, this year there's been more missing persons than last year, and I would venture to guess next year there will be more than this year. So if we don't stand up, if we don't use our voices, if we don't walk, more people will go missing. And more people will suffer, and I truly mean suffer, the hardships that we've all faced. And I know I've gone over my time, but I will just end with this. If I can give any shout-out advice to anyone that hears this, sees this, is part of this, you cannot do this by yourself. You must use the resources that are out there. You must find them. You must use the people. You must use the communities. You must use your state. You must use those that have gone through this prior. And you must pull your family together and share the love and the memories and the hope of better days to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Lonnie. Elizabeth George could not make it. So I love what Lonnie said at the end, because that's exactly what she was going to say, because Elizabeth George connected with another family of the missing. Her child was found. And so you never know, the families that have had missing people for a long time may have resources that you are unaware of. So connecting all these families throughout Nebraska is a very important thing. So thank you, Lonnie, for setting Elizabeth up. All right, Jessica Hamre's representative.
Jerica Ann Hamre went missing June 25th, 2024 from Lincoln, Nebraska. She was 30 years old with brown hair, brown eyes, height 5'2", 245 pounds. Circumstances was she was last seen at her home near 35th and Huntington on June 25th, 2024. She had recently moved to the Lincoln area. She had reported an assault days before her disappearance, but it is not known if that is a factor in the disappearance. She is missing under suspicious circumstances.
Jason Jolkowski's representative.
Hello, folks. I am Dan Buck. I am here speaking on behalf of Kelly Jolkowski because she's now residing in the state of Washington and not able to be here. Many of you may know her from Project Jason. She sends her love to everybody, especially you, Jannel. So Jason was last seen on June 13th of 2001 at his home in Omaha, Nebraska. Jason goes by the nickname of JJ. He was 19 years old when he went missing. He was born on June 24th, 1981, brown hair, brown eyes, tall kid, 6'1", 165 pounds. Of course, he's a white man. He was last seen wearing a white Chicago Cubs or Sammy Sosa t-shirt, black dress pants, blue Cubs cap, and dress shoes. He was carrying a red work shirt. Jason was supposed to be on his way to work because his car was in the shop. He was last seen bringing in the garbage cans with his little brother, who was 7 years younger than him. They have a very close relationship. He was going to meet a coworker, and they were going to meet at Benson High School, and she was going to give him a ride to where he worked. He was never seen at the school. They ran the video cameras from Benson High School. No sight of Jason. It was simply 8 blocks away. and he never made it. He's never accessed his bank account, never cashed any checks, never picked up his car from the shop. No one's ever heard a thing from him. There's not so much as even one clue. So many of you here may have interacted with Kelly. She may have helped you on your journeys. Please keep her in your prayers. She did want me to pass along, if it's okay, Jannel, that she is at the point in her grief that she knows there's a possibility that Jason may never come back. But she just wants him to know that she loves him unconditionally and hopes to be reunited with him someday.
Representative of Christopher Loupin.
Christopher Allen Loupin went missing November 17th, 2019 from Elm Creek, Nebraska. He was 28 years old, brown hair, brown eyes, height 5 feet 10 inches, 180 pounds. Identifying characteristics, he has scars on his left forearm and his right arm. He has a tattoo of a cross on his left upper arm. He was last seen wearing a white cutoff shirt, dark-colored shorts, and black and white shoes. Christopher was living in a camper with his father at the Four Seasons campgrounds in Elm Creek, Nebraska. On November 17, 2019, he was acting strange and was last seen leaving the camper at 1 a.m. He left his coat, wallet, and cell phone behind.
Representative for Tyler Miers.
Tyler Blake Miers went missing on May 20th, 2023 from Prague, Nebraska. He was 41 years old. He has brown hair, hazel eyes, 5'10", 175 pounds. Tyler was last seen on May 20th, 2023 in a field outside Prague, Nebraska, near Prague Quick Stop. His pickup truck was left in Prague. A search yielded no results, and he has not been seen since.
I would like to welcome Denise AllanHorvath. Denise came here all the way from the UK. Denise has traveled the world looking for her son for 35 years. This is the fourth time I've been in a location with her, the fourth location. That's how far and wide she's willing to search for her son. She is the definition of perseverance.
Good morning. It is an honor to be here in Lincoln, Nebraska, the hometown of Gina, Regina Marie Nierap Voss, who tragically vanished without a trace in 2002, age 40, leaving her beloved children, siblings, parents, and family in limbo, still without answers to her demise. I would like to thank Governor Pillen, Senator Conrad, Jannel Rapp, founder of Gina for Missing Persons Foundation, and all those involved in their efforts to declare October 17th as Missing Persons Day in Nebraska, USA. My heart goes out to all who have loved ones missing in Nebraska, the USA, Canada, England, and around the world who are still searching for their lost, abducted, murdered, and missing. Perseverance is a word I would use to describe my journey. I know all too well the heartache of a missing child, pleading, begging for help from the Royal Canadian Mounted Kelowna Detachment via international long-distance telephone calls, being left in tears without dignity or assistance from the authorities in Canada and England. My journey across the Atlantic, Canada, USA, and the world began 35 long years ago in 1989, when my only son, Charles, aged 20, vanished without a trace while visiting Canada, the country of his birth. His godfather and natural father from our home in Yorkshire, England. In 1988, we spent an early Christmas together when I flew out to Montreal, Quebec, to proudly watch young Charles strut his stuff on the catwalk at the Delta Hotel fashion show, December 14th. December 18th, Montreal Dorval Airport was the last time I held my 20-year-old son in my arms when we said our goodbyes. Charles's final communication was sent from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, by fax, May 11th, 1989. 1989, May 26th. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police Kelowna Detachment deemed was the last date Charles Carolee John Horvath, Allan, was last seen alive. August 14th, 2022, the Royal Courts of Justice, Chancery Division, London, England, granted my application for a presumption of death certificate for my only son. When Charles's beloved Nana died in 2008, Cambridge, England, the Reverend prepared a place for Charles to be laid to rest one day alongside her. My search for young Charles continues, sadly without knowledge of his fate, but I persevere in the hope that one day I will bring my boy home. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Representative for Morgan Nick. Morgan Nick's mother was supposed to be here to speak, but there was some evidence in Morgan's case that kept her home in Arkansas.
Morgan Chantel Nick went missing June 9th, 1995, from Alma, Arkansas, at 7 years old. Blonde hair, blue eyes, 4 feet tall, 55 pounds. Identifying characteristics, Morgan has 5 visible silver caps on her molars. She has a protruding purple vein on the lower left side of her rib cage. She was wearing a green Girl Scout t-shirt, blue denim shorts, and white tennis shoes. Morgan's photo is shown aged to 31 years. She was abducted by an unknown white male while she was playing at a ballpark in Alma. The composite sketch at right portrays someone who may have come in contact with Morgan at the ballpark.
This next young man who's missing, his name is actually Jacob. So it's wrong in the program. His father actually is on our committee. He helped us to make this day come to be. His son is missing from Colorado, and he lives in Texas, but he helped Nebraskans make this happen.
Jacob Cameron Paddock-Weeks went missing February 2nd, 2019, from Indian Hills, Colorado. He was 27 years old. He goes by Jake. Blonde hair, blue eyes, 5 feet 8 inches, 140 pounds. For identifying characteristics, he has the following tattoos: warrior on his right forearm, Colorado with mountains and the sun in the background on his left forearm, a spade with love life written on it on the left side of his abdomen, and a skull hiding a tire with wings and flames around it on his left calf. His eyebrow is pierced. He was possibly wearing a blue hoodie, jeans, a baseball cap, and tennis shoes. The circumstances are someone fitting Jacob's description was seen walking away from his truck after hitting the inner guardrail on Highway 285 near Indian Hills, Colorado. His cell phone was left in the vehicle. The accident happened around 7:45 a.m. on Saturday, February 2nd, 2019. No one has heard from Jacob since before the accident. At the time he disappeared, he was living in his truck.
By the way, for more information on any of these cases or to share the flyers, you can go to 411gina.org. That's 411gina.org. Erin Pospisil is next. Her parents are actually living in Omaha, but she's missing from Iowa.
Erin K. Pospisil went missing June 3, 2001 from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. She was 15 years old. With brown hair, brown eyes, height 5'3", 125 pounds. She has a small scar above her left eye. When she was last seen, Erin had red highlights in her hair. She was wearing a light-colored tank top and beige overall shorts. Erin's photo is shown aged to 35 years. She was last seen at home on June 3, 2001. She has not been seen or heard from since.
I would like to welcome Nancy Bird to the stage. Nancy Bird's husband, David Bird, she will tell you more about it, I'm sure, but he vanished in 2014, and I was in New Jersey preparing to do an event, and some of the organizers reached out to Nancy and invited her to the event, and that's how I know her. Nancy Bird.
Thank you, Jannel. So 10 years ago, my husband, David Bird, was a Wall Street Journal reporter, liver transplant recipient, and a dedicated family man. And he went missing. And I consider us one of the lucky ones in that he was found. 14 months later, he was found deceased, but we knew where he was. We didn't know what happened, but we knew where he was. He was found 1.5 miles from our home. None of it made sense. And in that imaginable time that, sadly, so many of you know, that's when I met Jannel. One of her artists from the Squeaky Wheel tour contacted me, put me in touch with Jannel, and she was a lifeline ever since, still is. So when Jannel and her team reached out, told me they were celebrating, commemorating, honoring all of the missing for Nebraska's Missing Persons Day, I said, I'm there. I'll do whatever you want. I'm here. And finally, after decades of personal healing, I feel like the voice that Jannel gave me 10 years ago to speak out about my husband, to tell everybody that I knew, to do all the things that all of you are doing to find your loved ones, it's time for me to use my voice to help you. So I'm here on this journey with you as a messenger of hope. My friend Kirk and I, he's a musician, we decided we're going to have a road trip. We're going to drive to Nebraska, and we're going to tell everyone we possibly meet along the way about your missing loved ones. We traveled through 10 states. We traveled for 6 days, and we stopped at rest stops along the way. Kirk's a musician. He'd pull out his guitar, open up the case that's red, and we had laminated flyers of all of your loved ones. We had flyers from people missing from every state. If we were in Pennsylvania, we highlighted people in Pennsylvania. Each state we traveled through. I have pictures of the flyers of your loved ones that I will share with you in his guitar case. And so many people came up and they read them. They took pictures of them. They put money in his guitar case, which was unexpected. And all of that goes to Gina, to 411 Gina, to Jannel.
Thank you.
With a name like Bird, it's hard not to connect the image of feathers, flight, rising above. So in preparation of this trip, I wanted something to connect this trip to. And many years ago, my husband David wrote a children's book. And a main line in that book was, "Find a feather and you'll always feel better." Well, when he was missing, I kept finding feathers and I was angry because that wasn't what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for a feather, I was looking for him. Until I realized those feathers were signs. That was him telling me, "I'm with you. Keep looking. It's okay, I'm with you." And then every time I found a feather, it brought me joy. And along this journey, guess what? I kept finding feathers. And my kids got involved. They were 12 and 15 when he went missing. And I asked them, "What can I do with Find a Feather and you'll always feel better?" And my son said, "Just make that's your thing. Find a feather. That's what you go by." So I immediately got a Facebook page called Find a Feather, an Instagram, which I have really no idea how to use, so forgive me if you're looking at it. But I did Find a Feather. I got a Find a Feather email. I registered Find a Feather as a website. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But I thank Jannel because I know it's time for me. It's time for me to do more to help you, and I'm ready. Because a feather does no harm. A feather doesn't hurt. It doesn't bite. It's just light, and it's comforting. And its only purpose is to fly and rise above and to see our world from higher spaces. But a single feather can't fly alone. It takes many feathers to make wings, to soar above. And today, we are all feathers to rise each other up. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Representative for Tarie Price.
Tarie Latresa Price went missing June 11th, 2020 from Gretna, Nebraska. She was 8 years old. She had black hair, brown eyes, was 4 feet tall and 70 pounds. She has a scar on her thigh. She was wearing a pink bathing suit. Tarie was last seen at Schramm Park State Recreation Area along the Platte River. She was with her mother along a sandbar when the two became separated.
Representative for Jesse Ross.
Jesse Warren Ross went missing November 21st, 2006 from Chicago, Illinois. He was 19 years old. His alias are Opie and Opie Cunningham. Red hair, blue eyes, 5 foot 10 inches, 140 pounds. He has freckles and wears glasses with dark wire frames. He was wearing a white t-shirt, a green warm-up jacket, blue jeans, and black sneakers. Jesse's photo is shown aged to 30 years. He was last seen November 21st, 2006 at a party at the Sheraton Chicago Hotel and Towers, 301 East North Water Street in Chicago, Illinois. A student at the University of Missouri at Kansas City, Ross had been participating in a Student United Nations conference at the hotel. He never returned to his room at the Four Points Sheraton at 630 North Rush Street. He is believed to have disappeared about 2 a.m. He has never been seen again.
Representative for Toni Sharpless. I just want to say that Nebraska Missing Persons Day has reached out beyond the borders to families who are willing to do anything to find their loved ones. And not only that, some of these families have helped us organize this. They have donated, and everyone who is represented here from other states has helped in some way. And I just wanted to let you know why they're being represented on our day, because they share our day with us. They don't have a day.
This is my daughter, Toni Sharpless. She went missing on August 23rd, 2009. She was 29 years old at the time. She has been missing for 15 years. She was last seen in Gladwin, Pennsylvania at a house party, and at 3 a.m. she left. She was driving her black 2002 Pontiac Grand Prix GT. The car was never seen or located, nor have we ever heard anything from her. There was no paper trails. We've had a lot of hits, but nothing confirmed. Thank you.
This man holds a special place in my heart. I do not recall when we met. It just seems like I've always known him. I remember when his daughter, Elizabeth, was abducted out of her bedroom. It was all over the news, and Gina had already been missing for 2 years by that point. And Ed, do you remember where we met? I don't recall. It's fuzzy. Anyway, please welcome Ed Smart.
It's an honor to be here today with you to share in this important day. They have me down as the importance of awareness, and I can say a few things. One is that miracles do happen. Answers do happen. And for so many of you who don't have those answers, I do know that answers can be had, and it is by having awareness such as this day that those answers can come about. In 2002, when Elizabeth was taken from her bedroom at knife point, I was like so many of you. That roller coaster started, and it did not stop for 9 months for me. And the miracle was that she did come home. I left her yesterday with her 3 kids and her husband. And her life is full and happy. I remember this day very well, and that was the day that she came home. I had very mixed feelings. There was this huge mass of media in our circle where we lived, And I had been out to one of the police departments where I had been called to, and it was like another one of those calls that some of you have had. We found a body, we found bones, we found a number of different times those calls came in, and it put us on that roller coaster. And you have to brace yourself. You have to brace yourself because you don't know. You don't know if it's going to be another dead end. You don't know if it's going to bring you to that final moment when you can say, okay, everything's done that can be done. At least I know where my child is, and I can, as the world does, move forward. That doesn't mean you ever forget that child. It doesn't mean that you ever forget the event, the trauma that occurred. And I've been amazed to learn more about trauma and these events and what they do to us physically. And as I was speaking with one of the mothers here today, she said, you can either collapse or you can move forward, you can survive. And that is what so many of you have done to be here today, to try to remember your child and to get those answers. Awareness is something that is so important. I know when Elizabeth was gone, what do we do as a parent? How do we keep our child that we don't know whether they're alive or not, alive in the media? And certainly by so many means, such as social media, which has become a lifeline for so many, but the importance of getting the information out there and keeping our child alive, keeping that story alive, to find those answers, because those answers don't don't fall into our laps, unfortunately. As was said earlier, we wish we didn't even have to have one of these days. But the importance is that answers can come because of days like today. The day Elizabeth came home, I was a bawling wreck. I don't want to say a wrecking ball, but I was a wreck, and I was crying, and I was angry, and I had so many different feelings. I left Elizabeth with her mother as she went home, as she went to the hospital to be checked over, and I went home. I remember this massive media that I was telling you about that was in our circle. Come on, Ed, come on out and talk to us. And I remember taking steps down the stairs. I remembered one person in particular. That was this little girl, Morgan Nick. Her mother, Colleen, was one of the first people that I kind of connected with about what do you do to survive? How do you move forward? And as I came down the front steps of our home, I just thought to myself, how could I be so lucky to have my daughter come home? And I felt guilty. I felt guilty that all of these friends of the club that nobody wants to belong to, what wouldn't they do to trade my position today to have my daughter come home? And I saw her about 4 months after Elizabeth's return, and I said to her, Colleen, I felt so sorry, I felt so bad that I didn't connect with you, but I didn't know what to say. And she said, Ed, the fact that Elizabeth came home gave me hope. And as many of you have heard, a couple of weeks ago they announced that there was DNA evidence found in a person's car 30 years after the fact. 30 years. And answers are coming forward. So please stay out there. Keep the awareness alive, whatever that takes to do to get those answers, because they are there to be had. I can't begin to tell you how I feel about this wonderful woman over here. I've worked with her. We traveled across the United States one summer from Rochester, New York, to Los Angeles. I'm putting on press conferences with one of my dear friends here. I don't know if I ever found out why she came along, but she was there and she cared. And another friend back here that's shooting this conference. But the importance was that the awareness, the campaigns that we put on for our children, for our loved ones, do bring about answers. Jannel said to me, Ed, if this will just help bring one person home, this event today, it will be worth it. And absolutely, those answers are worth more than any gold could ever do. I appreciate being here with you today. I know that answers can be had. I love you dearly. I know what you're going through, and I would do anything to try and help you. So if you need any help and I can be of help, I will certainly be glad to. I'm on Facebook, but anyway, it's wonderful to be here today with you today. I wish that we didn't have to have these, but I do believe that they bring answers. Thanks so much, Jannel. Thank you.
That's smart. Tammy, Grabert, Csaszar. She drove all the way from New Jersey. Her story is so special, a movie could be made out of it.
This was my brother, Jason. He was my other half. Jason went missing right after Christmas 2009. He had a habit of going on walkabouts. He had mental illness. He was diagnosed as schizophrenic, and he was not medicated. He had a habit of walking, going on walks across country, disappearing for a long time. So it was not uncommon for us to not wonder where he's at. Well, we always wondered where he was at, but he would always eventually make it home. Until after Christmas 2009, he decided he was going to go to Mexico. And he told me he was going. And shortly, a couple days later, he called and he asked for us to get him a flight back to Fort Lauderdale. And from then, he called my phone, knowing that I was working and that I couldn't pick up the phone, and left me a message and told me that he loved me. And we never heard from him again. I never gave up looking for him. I posted on Facebook every year on his birthday that come home or reach out. At least do something to let us know that you're alive. And I did this for many years. My mother met Jannel. She ended up at the
Squeaky Wheel Tour.
Squeaky Wheel Tour. Thank you. I'm sorry. And through then, she knew Jannel, but Jannel didn't know actually that my brother was missing. And then when she did, they started with flyers with my brother and going around with flyers. In the same aspect I had also hooked up with New Jersey State Police. They had a program called New Jersey Missing. We donated our DNA. My brother was the first person that they located with that new program. And I have spoken to them on behalf of them, and I worked with them, and I am so grateful because it just so happens that after we submitted the DNA, that the medical examiner for Broward County, Florida, was at one of Jannel's events and saw my brother's flyer, and then it connected, everything connected together, and then with the DNA, we were able to bring him home. I'm so grateful, and thank you. And thank you on behalf of my mother. I just want to let you know, you are not alone. And, be that pillar, and never give up. And that's all I have to say. Never give up. Thank you.
Tammy, can you remain? I'm coming down there. These are my little sisters and my niece, so I can boss them around. Anyway, I need their help. The reason I wanted to keep Tammy up here, I'm going to try to hurry because we went a little long. So, Tammy, can you come over closer to me? Yay. Now I'm bossing her around. I'm bossing everyone around. So, New Jersey has been very good to the Squeaky Wheel Tour and to Gina. I don't know why, but for some reason that state has donated more, had larger events, more media, and it's because of a couple of girls that caught fire because of a song that I wrote in 2004 that we're going to perform right after this. I wrote the song in 2004, recorded it in 2005. A video was made of it in 2011. These two girls were on the internet and they saw the video and they said, I have to meet that girl. I want to get involved. They didn't know me. They'd never been involved with missing persons. They hunted me down. They stalked me until they found me. And I called them back and they told me that they wanted to do events for us. They wanted to do a fundraiser. They wanted to do all of these things. The name of that band is Virago. Virago means a strong, courageous person who makes things happen, who makes change. And so Gina, in honor of the New Jersey girls, the Virago band, they had some illness or they would have been here. Gina has the Virago Award that we give out every year, and we have several recipients. So I'd like to call Ed, Nancy. Some of the people are not here, so I just want to make sure. So John Lage, he's the cameraman. So we have, if everyone can come up and we can give you the award and someone can take a picture for John. Yes. We have Reverend Corder and his wife, Philippa. Darin. They have been helping so much, connecting the dots, and they helped secure this church, and thank you so much for the church. Pat Williams, who's been a supporter since 2000, since Gina disappeared until now. So we have 24 years of support from Pat Williams. Anna Eckhart, are you here? Okay. We'll have to deliver those. I want to make sure I got everyone. Christy Higgins, are you here? No. Okay. All right, I think that's it. So if someone could take a photo. Thank you, everyone, so much for all of your help. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I would like to ask my friends, some of them since grade school, to come and join me on October 17th. So in 2004, it rained in California more than I'd ever seen it. My garage flooded about 4 or 5 times. And it finally stopped raining. It literally started raining on October 17th. It didn't stop until March or April. I'd never seen that before. And I went into the grocery store, and as I was checking out, the clerk said, "Aren't you glad the rain is finally gone?" And instantly, I got this song in my head, because it had been raining since October 17th, the year before. And I'm writing the song as I'm walking out, and then I drive my car through the parking lot, and there's a trunk of a car slightly ajar, just like my sister's was. And I just lost it. And I got home, I left all my groceries to melt, and I just jumped on the piano, and October 17th became a song. And it's humbling that October 17th, the song, inspired by my sister's disappearance, brought someone home. It's just, it's humbling. October 17th. She said, "Aren't you glad the rain is finally gone?" Then I heard the words for this song. She didn't understand what she was saying, but something deep inside of her must have me praying, 'cause it's been raining since October 17th. I don't know if you know what I mean. I've been treading water all this time. At times it brings me comfort, at times I lose my mind. So lift me up, pull me up, pick me up, above these walls, above these waters. Take this cup, take this cup. Once the rain begins, it doesn't stop. All the power goes out with all the clocks. You find you're walking forward, standing still, 'cause someone took your life, someone has your will. So lift me up, waters, above these walls. Take this cup. Take this, oh take this, oh take this, take this, oh take this. Take this cup. Cause it's been raining since October 17th. It's been raining since September 21st. It's been raining since July 6th. It's been raining since November 3rd. It's been raining since June 25th. It's been raining since June 13th. It's been raining since November 17th. It's been raining since May 20th. It's been raining since August 89. It's been raining since June 9. It's been raining since February 2nd. It's been raining since June 3rd. It's been raining since June 11th. It's been raining since November 21st. It's been raining since August 23rd. It's been raining. 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 Raining, raining. It's been raining, 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 raining. It's been raining, 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 raining. So lift me up, lift me up. Thank you, everyone. This concludes the first annual Nebraska Missing Persons Day. If you want to know what you can do, you can share a flyer on social media. You can go to 411gina.org, find a flyer, share it, because you never know which share is going to get to the right set of eyes. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being here. We love you all.
I just want to thank you all for coming, and I just want to give a shout out to my amazing sister. Without her courage and perseverance, our family would not be anywhere today. She has held us all together, and I just want to give her a special shout out for our family.
Thank you, girls and guys.